Right now at 4, Christmas Day chaos at Sky Harbor. Fox 10 cameras are rolling as a man appears to attack officers responding to a shooting in the terminal. Sky Harbor International Airport was the scene of that Christmas evening violence and commotion. 3 people were shot, another stabbed during what police say was a family argument that escalated.
And not long after that, a man was arrested after getting into a fight with police in the very same terminal. Fox 10's Nicole Christine joins us live from the airport tonight to sort out all of this chaos that unfolded late last night. Nicole.
Yeah, it's really the last thing that you want to hear about on any evening, but especially Christmas evening when people are just trying to get home after the holiday. So what I can tell you is right where I'm standing right now here in Terminal 4 on the 3rd level is where it was all blocked off. And this Red Rock Burger behind me, this is the area. They actually just took away the barrier that was right in front of that restaurant. That's where a lot of this chaos really began in this domestic violence incident. So now we're really back to normal in terms of having everything, nothing's really blocked off anymore, but this restaurant's still closed. A couple next to it still closed as well. So there is still an active investigation going on for sure, and still a lot of details that we're waiting to confirm. Now, here are some of the details that we know. Phoenix police say around 9:45 last night at an airport restaurant, we believe it to be this Red Rock Burger, near security checkpoints, a family argument led to 2 adult males and an adult female being shot. The female's injuries are described as life-threatening. We did just get an update that she has been stabilized but is still in critical condition. The 2 men are expected to survive. There was also a man hospitalized with a stab wound who is considered stable. Now, a man and a girl were detained after the incident, and there is no word yet on any charges or names of those people. This incident led to the closure of a security checkpoint and a shelter in place in Terminal 4, which was canceled roughly an hour later. Then, in a separate incident, police say was unrelated, 21-year-old Cole Ninon showed up to the airport with multiple guns. Police say Ninon handed them off to other individuals and approached police while yelling. An officer tried to verbally tell him to stop, and then a fight broke out, during which police say Ninon spat on that officer and struck him. Now, 3 guns were impounded, according to police. Ninon was booked on an aggravated assault charge. Of course, this all happening on Christmas evening, causing quite the chaotic scene and a lot of reaction from travelers and workers. Check it out.
And then they were fighting outside, and I saw the blood, and then the lady went back, and then somebody was doing compressions on her, and then the shooter, I'm sure it was him, and the girlfriend started running past me, said, "We got to get out of here, we got to get out of here."
45 minutes outside the car,
yeah,
and they just cut active shooter. No one could come in. As long as we stayed away from the doorway, we were okay.
Whoever did this, they're going to pay for it, especially an older woman like that. What can an older woman say to you that you're going to shoot them?
And again, this was not an incident that was random at all. These were people who all knew each other, and there is no larger threat to the public. But what we do know is that details and more information continue to pile in, and we are getting updates from police very frequently today. We just got an update a few minutes ago with even more information. So coming up at 5 o'clock, we're going to break down the latest information for you, see if there have been any names released and more details, because we know that a lot of people are interested in this happening in such a public place, and it's really something that, again, you never want to see any day, especially around the holidays. We're going to break it all down for you again at 5 o'clock, though, so be sure to tune in at 5. For now, though, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
This breaks my heart. A dog was abandoned at the Arizona Humane Society earlier this month with only a note.
And now he's looking for his new forever home this Christmas. Armando is his name, a 4-year-old lab mix found by staff in the shelter's parking lot with a note attached from the family that said, due to unforeseen circumstances, they had no choice but to give up their beloved dog. So they took it to the shelter. The shelter says Armando is sweet and can be a bit shy at first, but warms up quickly to humans and other pets and tummy rubs.
Armando's been through it, being abandoned by your family, being in a strange environment, that's really loud, that you're not used to, and then going into a different home once he is adopted can be really stressful. So, of course, not just Armando, but all of our adoptable pets, we definitely recommend doing slow introductions with the family, letting them go at their own pace.
Yeah, the tummy rubs have proved to be very calming for this guy. Armando, currently at the Papago campus in Phoenix, Papago Park. We've got much more information on our website, fox10phoenix.com. We're getting new details tonight on the man accused of spraying pesticides on produce at a Mesa Walmart, part of an internet stunt, now spending Christmas in jail. We first told you last night Charles Smith's TikTok account, which goes by the name of Wolfie Coletti, has now been banned. This is where he first posted this video last week showing him spraying down fruits and vegetables at the Mesa Walmart. Last night, Smith was back in court facing new charges, including burglary, felony burglary. He was given an additional $10,000 bond and will not be allowed on social media. Smith curiously asked if he could leave jail to go feed his dog.
I have a pet at the house, and now we live alone, and she hasn't been able to eat in like 6 days. I was wondering if I have any access of going home and promising to return to court the next court date.
So you already have a bond in the other case, and so I can't control that bond. So at this time, I'm leaving the bonds as they are.
Yeah, he'll have to make a phone call and figure out, get somebody over there to help the dog. Smith previously told police that he posted these prank videos on social media to earn an income of up to $10,000 a month. He was already arrested on a separate charge for the pesticide spraying incident at that Mesa Walmart.
Information this morning about the man who was arrested by Phoenix police. This situation, unrelated to the story that we were just talking about here. It just happened moments before. He has now been identified as a man named Cole Ninon. Police say the 21-year-old from Scottsdale went to the airport with several guns after a relative told him about the shooting. He handed the weapons to other people when approaching an officer. That's when the officer yelled at him. Police say that he would not listen to commands. He then spat on an officer and hit him. He was later booked for aggravated assault. 3 guns were also impounded.
Investigation where a son is accused of killing his own father in Glendale. 28-year-old Jordan Green is accused of shooting and killing his father, 61-year-old Clinton Green. The shooting happened yesterday morning at an apartment complex near 59th Avenue and Greenway. According to court paperwork, officers conducted a welfare check at the apartment after a woman claiming to be the ex-wife of Clinton heard gunshots while on the phone with him. She also told police that their son Jordan was schizophrenic and that Clinton was trying to take him to receive mental health assistance. When officers arrived on scene, they found Clinton dead inside, as well as Jordan, who claimed he acted in self-defense, saying that his father, quote, physically grabbed him. Jordan was taken into custody and faces 1 charge of second-degree murder.
The arrest of a woman over the weekend who was driving an Amazon truck, even though she shouldn't have been. Police say she stole it. They say the Amazon delivery driver reported his truck was stolen on Sunday afternoon. We're going to zoom in on the map, show you where, just north of the 10 there on McDowell at 89th Ave. When they approached, then the lady tries to drive away. She then quickly bailed out at the I-10 and 91st Avenue, ran off, but got caught and arrested. She's been identified as Selena Duran. The 31-year-old is facing charges, including fleeing from law enforcement.
First on Fox, a love triangle leaves 1 man dead, an unborn baby fatherless, and the accused shooter behind bars.
All new tonight, Fox 10's Ashley Rodriguez breaks down those tense moments in court today.
All right, you, sir, have been arrested.
33-year-old Khalid Williams was told multiple times by the judge to not say anything during his initial appearance Friday. Williams is accused of shooting and killing 35-year-old Keyshawn Stewart.
I suggest that you not make any statements. If your attorney was here, he'd tell you just to shut up.
But there's a lot to explain in this case. One of the shooting victims admitting to police it all started because of a love triangle.
They were warned not to come to my home. They were threatening to harm me. She's just as much responsible for this as I am.
Police say the murder victim, Keyshawn Stewart, dated Williams for 6 years, but the two men broke up in October. Yet the fighting continued and now involved a woman who claimed to be 3 months pregnant with Stewart's baby. According to court documents, the day before Christmas Eve, Stewart and his pregnant girlfriend drove to Williams's home on North 17th Avenue and were greeted by the 33-year-old holding an AK-47.
While we were leaving the incident and he was shooting at us, one of the bullets hit my boyfriend in the back of the head, which is what caused us to crash the car. And he landed on my belly, and I held him because I was trapped there for as long as I could until the cops got there. I wake up screaming every night. My son will never know his father.
Police say Williams ran from the scene, and it took 3 days to hunt him down. Officers finding his car at a Mexican food restaurant where he was arrested.
Mr. Williams has a criminal history with 6 prior felonies, although none of them are crimes of violence. That is a significant number of prior felony convictions.
Police say the shooting was caught on surveillance video, and while Williams claimed he accidentally fired the shot, 25 casings were found on the scene. When interviewed, officers say he showed no remorse. Williams faces 4 felonies, including premeditated murder in the first degree. His bond is set at $1 million.
She should have stopped him.
I tried.
No, you didn't.
Ashley Rodriguez, Fox 10 News.
It was just going from like heaven to hell for us. For 5 or 10 minutes, they were walking on the ice, but we heard some splashes.
That lake had not completely frozen over, so the thickness of that ice couldn't have been good. You also compound it when you have more than one person standing in one spot. It just creates a bigger weight issue. So our advice is just to avoid going out on the ice, altogether.
After 15 or 20 seconds, we understood that the guy is drowning. And everyone was crying and shouting, and it was a chaotic situation. They were throwing life jackets at him, but he couldn't catch the life jackets. We tried to grab a branch of tree, but it wasn't successful. Went up the hill and found a very long 3-inch pipe, put a knot with their belt around it, and then throw it into the water. Honestly, I couldn't sleep last night. It was so bad to experience and witness such tragedy.
Earlier in the afternoon, DPS troopers responded to a fatal crash involving a pedestrian. This was on the Loop 303. It happened right around 1:10 in the afternoon near Peoria Avenue. Troopers tell us that a pedestrian may have been picking up a ladder in the roadway when they were struck. That person died on scene. Several lanes southbound were closed to work on clearing that up and investigating exactly what happened.
New reaction tonight after the shooting at Desert Sky Mall in the West Valley. The mall is back open today after the shooting Friday night.
A teenage boy was shot and taken to the hospital where he is in critical condition tonight, but the shooter is still on the loose. Fox 10's Irene Snyder is live with details. Irene?
Well, hey guys, that teenage victim is still in critical condition in the hospital, but the good news is, according to Phoenix police, he is expected to survive. Taking a look at some of that video from last night, shots rang out just around 7 o'clock in the evening. Looking at that scene, there are dozens of police in the Desert Sky Mall parking lot. Most of the lot blocked off by caution tape for the night. Phoenix police say when they got to the scene, they found a teenage boy with at least 1 gunshot wound. The teen taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Again, the good news is now they say they do expect him to survive. This is the second shooting at a Valley Mall within a couple of weeks. Earlier this month, Tempe police found a person inside a car with gunshot wounds at the Arizona Mills Mall. A teen and 2 others were arrested in that case. We did speak with some people shopping at the Desert Sky Mall today, hearing about all this violence. They say it worries them.
It's very worrisome that people cannot control themselves and they fix problems with shooting. Yeah, not good.
And Phoenix police are still investigating the incident. We're waiting on more details about any potential suspects in the case. But again, we do know that the teen victim, they believe at this point, still in critical condition, but expected to survive. Make sure to stay with Fox 10 for details and the latest online and on the air. We'll send it back to you guys for now. Reporting live in Phoenix, I'm Irene Snyder for Fox 10 News.